Well, hello everybody and welcome to the BIS Music Room. Welcome to BIS HQ on Christmas Eve and welcome to Hugo as well for some Christmas celebrations. It is Christmas, as you may have noticed, so a very happy Christmas to each and every one of you. Now look, I've only got one thing planned. When I say planned, it's not really planned at all. It's just I thought about 2 minutes ago I would start with this piece by Garth, Edmundson, a bit of a toccata. We'll start with a toccata and then we'll end with a toccata later on. This is actually on the famous Lutheran chorale von Himmel, Hoch. It's a well-known tune, so you'll all know the tune if you don't know the arrangement. I'll just hack my way through this and then I'll come back to you in a very brief moment. I need to remember to mute the microphones. Now, was I clipping a little bit earlier on? Let me just, I know what the issue might be actually. I think, frankly, it might just be a fraction loud. If I just turn the microphone down, then it might not be clipping quite so much. There we go. Hopefully, that's better. Now, where are we tonight? Thank you very much. We are in Luxembourg. We are in St. Martin's Church in Dudelange.
Paul Larson is missing the electrical tape.
Paul, well, where is it?
I don't know. Maybe.
It might be on the windowsill over there, actually.
Should I see if I can find it?
Don't knock anything over, though, because it's like an obstacle course in here at the minute. Yeah, don't knock that one over.
You go.
We are in Dudelange, and there is no Hamburg organ on the market with a better tuba and better chamades than this. I am not joking. These chamades are extraordinary. So good, in fact, that the electrical tape has turned up for the chamades. It also has tuba merrily down here. Apparently I'm still cracking. I don't know why I'm cracking. I can probably just, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me just unclip it for a moment. I hope you're not all going to turn off. Hang on. Perhaps the microphone has actually given up the ghost finally. I've had it for quite a while and it's had quite a lot of wear and tear. If it's broken, then we'll blame Hugo and I'll have to buy a new one for Christmas. If it's broken, I'll just unplug it and we'll find a plan B. Right, so let's put the electrical tape down somewhere, shall we? We don't need that tonight. So Garth Edmundson's Toccata Prelude on von Himmel, Hoch, der Comic. It's a sort of piece that I've known for many, many years. I knew it as a teenager and I've always loved it, to be honest. It's just always been a favourite of mine. And I do remember playing it at York Minster on the... Well, Ralph should be lucky. That big bit towards the end, when I went up to the fourth manual here at York on the tuba merrily, so did it. And at York, it is really, really quite devastating. That's actually a really good stop, isn't it? That is a real tuba. Right, so let's
Our first
go.
request comes from Ship's Bells. We need to cheer him up because his
What's the first
bell
request?
ringing and number 29. Break forth, O beauteous heavenly light.
Right.
His carol service and bell ringing was cancelled due to COVID, I presume. So he's here with us. But needs cheering up.
I want to know how bad this cracking is. It's ridiculous. There's no reason for this microphone to be cracking at all. Oh look, you've got a really close view of my new haircut.
No, it's still cracking.
Okay. Well, what I can do is, can you have a listen, please, to the audio to see how bad it is, and then I'll make a decision as I'm playing this next hymn for Ship's Bells. Right, so what I'm going to do is firstly apologise for that ridiculous wrong note. The doors were closing behind me and it's all kicking off here. It's a bit off-putting. I'm going to change the microphone. So I've got the Yeti microphone here. I'm going to unclip this one. And we're going to have a new microphone. It's a good job today is an informal broadcast, isn't it? Otherwise you'd have all scarpered by now. And I'm actually very aware that I'm still talking into a clipping microphone. So I need to find a cable. Dan Soper, I saw you in the chat. Thank you very much for your donation, Dan. It was very good to be at St Edmundsbury just the other week. It's a wonderful organ, isn't it? Really, really wonderful organ.
You don't play the Carillon sortie, do you?
I'm afraid not without practicing.
You've requested several times. I think you might need to get on it.
I'll have to. Well, I can't learn it tonight.
No, but in the new year. It's been times. I always have to say sorry, no.
Okay. I just need to place this Yeti microphone down here. Right, let me just go. I'm going to turn this microphone off, and then we'll have a new Yeti. One sec. Right, what have I just done there? Have I turned? Oh, that's going to distort, isn't it? Okay, so I think actually now we have the Yeti microphone. I know I'm talking from miles away at the minute. Now what I can do is, sorry about that, guys. That's really, really unprofessional. I'm not surprised the numbers have just dipped down. People don't tune in on Christmas Eve for chaos, do they? Okay, so that's a bit better. I hope that's a bit better.
Yes, it's better.
Good. Well, let's just continue. Ship's bells. There we go. So, apologies for the extraordinary wrong notes there. I'm not quite sure what happened with that. You know, with these sort of hymns here, because they're in English, I don't necessarily recognise them straight away. But this is obviously from the Christmas Oratorio, isn't it? It's used in the Christmas Oratorio by Bach. I'm playing it through, instantly recognised it. And there's wonderful words, the power of Satan breaking, and then which I didn't do, word painting, our peace eternal making. Next time I play it, in fact, we have so many colours on this organ. This organ is a huge, huge crescendo. I'm going to play one more verse of this this wonderful hymn. So let me just mute this microphone. Now I've changed the microphone. I need to change the setting on my Stream Deck here. It's not working. And there we go, with the proper crescendo and then the diminuendo towards the end. We got there in the end, I think. I feel a bit, I actually do feel a little bit lost without my microphone attached. So I do hope that the audio is now better.
Yeah, it's really good now.
Tell you what, trusty old Yeti, isn't it? The trusty Yeti comes to the rescue. I used to use this in years gone by, but then went to the lapel microphone. But actually, these are really reliable. Okay, so let's have now a great and mighty wonder.
Hugo's just saying goodnight to you, Daddy.
Oh, okay, good night, Mr. Man. See you tomorrow.
He's very tired.
Very tired, boy.
So he's going to bed.
It's Christmas Day in a few hours. It's your first Christmas. Don't look so confused. Don't look so confused, mister. Hope you sleep well. And I'll see you later. All right, Mr. Man?
So yeah, Story Angel is in the chat now.
Story Angel.
She asked for this in the Advent Carol service.
You asked for this a few weeks ago, and you'll have it. A Great and Mighty Wonder. Let's have the cornet on the great, accompanied by some of the quieter flutes on the choir, and the swell, I think. Let's see how we get on. Such a wonderful tune, isn't it? Ist ein Ross entsprungen. Synonymous, I suppose, with Advent, actually. A great and mighty wonder. Ist ein Ross entsprungen. Lo, how a fair bloom hath sprung, a tender shoot. So it's all about the Advent, the beginning. And one of my favourite beautiful hymns, the gorgeous harmony by Prelude. You wouldn't want to do anything with it. It's just so beautiful. Particularly, actually, on the second line of music, where the alto goes above the tune here. It's just simple things like that in music, which really can transform and lift music off the page and make it into something really, really fun. Music from that period was very intricate, very well composed, and a lot of fun. Those wonderful madrigals by people like Pretorius and Purcell and all those wonderful composers are so much fun to sing at dinner parties around a table. If you've got some good singers with you, singing madrigals is just one of the most exciting and entertaining ways to spend an evening, I find. Now, Andantino requested People Look East a while ago. She requested it after the Advent service that we did recently, and I wasn't able to play it because at the time I only had NEH and carols for choirs to hand, and of course this hymn isn't in either of those books. So I've actually now got it. I might actually just turn up this microphone a little bit. Oh, now we're too loud. Are we too loud? No, I think that's all right, actually. I'm just talking normally, and there we go. I didn't have it to hand, and now I have it to hand, and I'm going to play it. Andantino, are you in the chat with us? I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. I'm not doing a very good job so far. I don't know whether she is here or not. Let's have a go at People Look East. People look east to see at last hopes fulfilled from ages past. Whilst I'm playing this, I'd all like you to let me know you're in the chat by writing. So there's two things I want you to write, okay? +1 as usual, but then followed immediately after that. Just put your location. So for me, +1 UK. Let's see where we are tonight.
It's excellent to see all the plus ones coming in. Actually, so many that I can't quite read them all in time, but it is so amazing to see such so many people and familiar faces. Let's just have a look. So Netherlands, USA, Texas, Virginia, USA, UK, Germany. Hi, in Germany. 2 people in Germany. England, Netherlands, Poland, USA, Baltimore, USA. UK. Let's see if we. Italy. Hello Italy. How on earth are you? South Wales, Austria, Texas again. Let's have a look. Gloucester, James. You're in Gloucester with the wonderful organ that was featured on my channel just recently. Canada. All these people. South Africa. Where else have we got? All these. Gosh, New Zealand as well. US Virgin Islands, Scotland, Oklahoma. Isn't this just incredible? It really, really blows my mind. Ireland, gosh, it's just, isn't it just looking at all of those people there, it's just so, so wonderful. We are in Doodle Lounge. Jerry just wrote it in the chat. We are in Doodle Lounge. However, we are on the currently unreleased organ of Doodle Lounge. This is the surround version. So I have behind me over there some speakers relaying the surround, the rear, the ambience, which you've never heard before, and it really adds something to to this organ. It really, I think you guys know that I liked this organ previously because I used it when I got it. I used it quite a lot, and I think it's now gone from a very good organ to an exceptional organ. It has everything on it. It has strings on the swell and on the choir, flutes, mutations, mixtures, some really fiery French reeds, an epic pedal department. So all of these stops on this organ, now that you see, are assigned to an actual stop on the Doodle Lounge organ. So the swell is that large, the pedal division is that large. Those are the chamades there. Over on this side, I have the choir division spread over 2 stop jams here because the choir is so large. So these are all choir stops. Those are all the string stops on the choir. That's why I've separated them. Those are all the choir string stops. And then the grate all the way down there. It's a really, really terrific organ, and I really enjoy playing it. Now we're just going to have, I played this last night at the organ Compline. It's A Little Town of Bethlehem. So in this country, we all know this tune, these words so well. But over in America, there's a different tune. It's called St. Louis. And we had it last night, and I think what we'll do, luckily in this hymn book, the tunes are next to each other. We'll have 2 verses, because there are 4 verses. We'll have 2 verses of the English tune, and then we'll have 2 verses of the sort of the American tune, if you like. It's not. I don't think it is American. It's by Louis Redner. Possibly he is American. I don't know. Let's assume he is. So this one here has been harmonised by Ralph Vaughan Williams, a Welshman, and then we'll go into the American tune afterwards. So, A Little Town of Bethlehem. what I find really fascinating is when I play a hymn. I think this is a perfect example of how divisive a hymn can be. In this country, those words are just so commonly sung every Christmas. You know, carols from kings, all the Cambridge colleges, the cathedrals, churches throughout the entire land will sing. But then I was looking at the chat, and a lot of people were saying, "This is the right tune." To the second tune, this is the right one. Like, no, it's the other tune. But it just even you know, more locally in this country, if you go from a different church, even just up the road, they'll sing a different hymn to a different tune, and it just feels so wrong. Like, no, it's the wrong tune. Right. Well, where shall we go next? What I'd like you guys to answer me is, we've had a lot of content this year here on Beauty and Sound, and there's a lot more to come. Believe me, a lot more to come. But what I really want to know is, if you could choose one video, one broadcast, or one recording in 2021. What would your favourite video be out of all of the virtual churches, the organ recitals, recording Truro, Gloucester, Guildford, or St Edmundsbury, Arundel Cathedral, anything like that? What was your favourite moment in this year? I would really like to know. Whilst you're letting me know that, I'm just going to play a little ditty which is going to appear. It comes from this organ. This is a very useful book, actually. I take it whenever I go and play a service in a Christmas service. This always goes with me. Whilst you're letting me know what your favourite moment was on BIS in the year, I'm going to play one of Bach's. I don't know, really. It's probably not his most famous piece. I'm actually going to use this book. But it's the most famous Christmas tune anyway. It's in dulci jublio, of course. It's in dulci jublio. You all know this one. Hopefully, I know it. Let's get all the mixtures. Let's just make it not an entirely. This organ does a lot, but doesn't really do authentic Silbermann North German organs very well. So it does what it does very well. So let's just fire up the mixtures, the 8-foot reeds, the 4-foot reeds, bring it all down to the pedal, and let's see how we get on with that. I think that might sound pretty good, actually. Okay, so in dulci jublio, on sort of, as Richard Cook described it, full English organ style. full English organ style very much. I would say one of the wonderful things about this organ is the location of the 32-foot reed thumb piston. That's the 32-foot reed over there. Over here is the flue as well. Oops, I did just the stop came flying out onto the microphone. Sorry about that. So it's very useful for that final penultimate bar when the pedal goes down to the low A. And I want to get the 32 foot on, and my hands are busy. Oh, perfect. Right, let's go on. Have you guys made any requests yet? What requests are you making? Caroline just had to shoot upstairs with our little man Hugo. So I'm waiting to see what sort of requests are coming in. Where's my carol book gone? I need to find my 100 CFC. Not 100 call for composers, 100 carols for choirs. This is the sort of book where you just open it at any page and play any of them, really. What should we have? I'll tell you what, let's just be cheeky, because it is Christmas Eve after all, and this is a very formal, naughty event. Let's just have Ding Dong Merrily on High. Not an organ piece at all. Obviously, it's just a choir piece. This is the sort of thing that you could sing as a magical, and it's certainly the sort of thing that you could sing in a pub after having had a few drinks. And it's a lot of fun. Let's sing it all together, shall we? This is the Charles Wood version. Is there another version? Or should I say, yeah, harmonised. There's a really good version by Mark Wilberg, actually, which is really jazzy and quite funky. It's a lot of fun. I played that at a concert recently. I'll have to play that to you guys one day. So let's just have a little bit of ding dong. Not an entirely authentic performance, but it is Christmas Eve, and let's see how we get on. I always forget actually how fiddly that is to play on the organ. Very hard to play. It's actually a lot easier to sing because it just sort of happens, it repeats, and it's just almost something that you can commit to memory very easily, but playing it on the organ is actually very hard. It doesn't slide under the fingers well at all. Charles Wood was an organist, a very good organist, but he wasn't writing that for the organ. He was writing it for four voices, just like William Byrd did for his famous Mass for four voices. Therefore, it doesn't lie under the fingers. But isn't that a lot of fun? With the, I actually realised that I had the choir mixture coupled through on the last verse, which shouldn't have been coupled through. I forgot about that. But it's a lot of fun, actually. You know, if you do the Glorias quiet, loud, and then in the final verse, no, sorry, it's loud, quiet. It's my dyslexia for you. Loud, quiet. Final verse, quiet, loud. Make everyone jump. It's a little bit predictable, isn't it? But hey ho, choirs love it, and on the whole, the congregation loves it as well. What should we have next? I've got so many things. I've got so much to play here. Do I just go into a hymn? I want someone to request something. That would be amazing if you could. Elaine, you've asked for, this is the first request I've seen in the chat. I've got a couple here actually. Hark the Herald and Joy to the World. Let's see if we can manage those two things. So we'll start with Elaine's Hark the Herald, one of the Christmas hymns. And we'll definitely have the David Wilcox verse descant for the final verse, and then we'll go into one from Matt Leach, who's requested Joy to the World. So we'll have those two back to back. Curiously, this organ has a mutation on the chamade. If I just hold that G down and play and pull out the 8th foot. Now watch, I haven't released. When you play it like that by itself, it's utterly ridiculous. And actually, I've just remembered this. You know, when Martin Baker came round to record his organ recital, which, thank you for, by the way, for everyone watching that. It's had a good number of views. I had the 8 foot and the 5 1/3 trumpet in the wrong order. So actually, the 5 1/3 was on the 8 foot, and the 8 foot was on the 5 1/3. And just before he improvised on Christmas themes, he actually had a very, very quick run through of the organ just to see what it sounded like. And he was playing around with the chamades on the top division, and he said, "Oh, that doesn't sound quite right. You know, that's not in tune." And then he realised actually the stops were in the wrong order. And I just think it wasn't intentional, but I just thought in hindsight that was a great trick to play on someone. With this organ, you know, I can just take off the stops like that. I can just put them in any order. I could put the 32-foot contrabombard on the quiet flue. And that would cause a bit of fun, wouldn't it? Like a game of Russian roulette. You never quite know what you're going to get. I've played quite a few Hauswerk organs in my time, and I'm very fortunate to have access to some of the best ones available. And I haven't come across a tuba quite like that yet on any organ yet. So if you know of an organ that has a better tuba than this, you've got to let me know. Alessandria, I know Alessandria extremely well. I've had that for a while. I was very fortunate to be the first person to ever play it. I did the first organ recital on it, so I know that organ very well. Rotterdam has a chamade, they're not a tuba. Salisbury has a tuba, which is pretty good, but it's a bit old now, so it's losing its edge. Hereford has a good tuba, so does Peterborough. But I say this one is the king of all tubas, I think. What do you guys think? Let me know. Am I missing a tuba somewhere? Matt wanted Joy to the World. Let's see if we can find that. It isn't here. It's number 200 on page 202. Joy to the World. The teacher's dead. Joy to the world. The Lord has come. Let earth receive her King. There are some descants. Oh, it says trumpet descant. Or let's change trumpet to trumpet. So here we go. Joy to the world. I like going between these tubas and reeds. It's like a big dialogue, isn't it? It's wonderful. Speaking about dialogue, I play tomorrow in the Christmas organ album, which is going online tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure about a time yet, actually. I'll ask you a question about that in a moment. But I play a piece by Claude Louis Daquin. Is it Claude Louis or Louis Claude Daquin? Apologies, I can't quite remember the order of those first two names. Play one of his Noels, Grand Jeu et Duo. It's a wonderful Christmas piece. And there's a bit towards the end where you actually go through the different manuals like that as an echo. but you'll have to wait till tomorrow to see that. And the question actually, which just sprang to mind, is so it's basically an organ album consisting of 15 Christmas pieces, most of which are fairly quiet, all based on very well-known Christmas tunes, without fail. Some of them are very well known, and some of them are less well known. But I've chosen them because I think that you will like them all. There's something in there for everyone. There's no messiah, nothing that's going to make you sort of pull your headphones out. It's all very nice background listening, perfect, you might say, for your Christmas lunch. Now the question is, so it's 15 minutes long, it's about an hour. I think it might just go over an hour. What time should I put that online? What time would be good for you? It's going to be set as a premiere, so you'll be able to chat if you want to. You might be busy eating your turkey, so you might not be able to chat. But it's going to go on as a premiere. Just give me some indication in the chat right now. What time do you think we should set it to go live? I'm open to suggestions. Okay, so let's have a look back through the chat to see if there are any more requests from you guys. Caroline's zoomed upstairs to take little Hugo up to bed, as you'd expect. It's past his bedtime. So let's see what is going on in here. Everyone say Merry Christmas, Jerry. Jerry, well, I'll say it as well. Merry Christmas, Jerry. Oh, everyone in the BIS family, Merry Christmas. Well, let me be the one to say a big collective happy Christmas, not only to Jerry, I would say a very happy Christmas to every one of you. There are currently 219, it's been floating around there for a while, of you listening from around the world. Happy Christmas to every one of you. It's been a really wonderful journey over the past couple of years, getting to know you, and I look forward to where the BIS journey will take us in the future. John has just asked for All Glory, Laud and Honour. I don't know whether there's some requests further up, but I just saw that one, and I will play that because I know it's in this hymn book, number 509. Now there is a rather tasty reharmonisation by our dear friend Noel Rawsthorne. I'll go and grab it. There's a cupboard inside the organ, literally inside the organ, with all the hymn books. Including this reharmonisation book by dear Noel Rawsthorne. This is called Wat wil ich die geben? So that should be towards the end. These are all arranged alphabetically. Let's see. Oh, it's not. Brilliant. That's really, really useful, isn't it? Is it St. Oh, where is it? Number 319. Here we go. Here we go then. So, All Glory, Laud and Honour. This is actually for Palm Sunday, but it's rather good. Here we go. this organ has no match for those chamars and that tuba merrily. That was full organ. We had full swell, absolutely full swell, full pedal. I'm sure you heard the 32-foot reed rumbling away at the end there. Full grate with all of the reeds, but the merrily and the trumpet really, really split through, don't they? Just it reminds me of being mentioned it before, but it reminds me of being at York. You can't quite see it on the screen today, but I have this wonderful picture of York Minster up there. Perhaps you can just see it if I move that. It's looking from the high altar down towards the organ. I've put that picture there because it's this organ which you'll find on the screen up there. It's just like this, and I'm mentioning it simply because that tuba merrily on that organ, it's a very famous stop here in England, really reminds me of this one. Actually, let's wait for the echo to go. The York organ is actually a lot fatter there. I can show you this picture here. This is a picture of that's me, John Scott Whiteley, and Philip Moore. This is actually look in the nave, looking towards the choir. So the nave is, to the photographer's back, as it were, and the organ sits on the choir screen here, just like a sleeping giant. And the tuba merrily points out in this direction. It's his on chamard, and it's a really fat, rounded stop. There's no other stop like it. Even the famous stops at Liverpool, the tuba magna and the trumpets militaire, as wonderful as they are, the tuba merrily at York is a king of tubas in this country. A tuba off, what fun. Okay, someone asked for, apologies, I didn't quite see who it was, and I will be absolutely happy to play it indeed. Someone asked for Michael Russell with a tick next to your name. That's very clever. How did you manage to do that? You asked for Wanson Royal David's City. Well, of course, let's have that. We haven't got a soloist to hand, unfortunately. So perhaps we could do something very cheap. Yes, perhaps we could. We might be able to. If you'll bear with me one moment, I might be able to summon a soloist. That could be quite exciting. It might not work, but it might just. His name is Hugo. Where is it? 260. Let's see if it works. Just bear with me a moment. I don't need to get up this time. Excuse me. But we had a soloist, didn't we, the other week, singing it, and now I can actually draw up that particular recording, and we can all listen to it live, and then I can carry on from verse 2 onwards. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to mute the microphone a second. All right, well, this might not work, but let's see. Let's see if it works. It'll be rather fun if it does. And it's all... The problem with having a wireless mouse is if I put it too far away from the computer, it doesn't blooming work. And it's not doing that now. It's not working. Okay, here we go. So let's just suck it and see, as they say. So I'll hand over to our esteemed soloist for verse 1.
Once in royal David's city stood a lowly cattle shed, where a mother laid a baby in a
choir only. Full. I'm a real believer in, if you don't try in life, you'll never get anywhere. And sometimes in these informal live streams, you just have to go with it, see what happens, and roll with the times. And it worked.
Ralph just told an amazing story in the chat that his son's turtle got into his reed organ.
What, one of these?
No mice in my organs, but one of my son's turtles took up residence in my reed organ for a few days after escaping from its aquarium. So I said Hugo's favourite toy is...
the turtle. Hugo has two turtles. He has this one, which is amazing, actually. The technology on this is fantastic. What do turtles have? Legs? What are they called? Feet? Claws?
Yeah,
legs?
Yeah, legs.
It's hard to do it on here, but these work in such a way that the turtle is always flat. It doesn't go up or down like a car suspension that's failed. It remains completely flat. So these are incredible.
It's a nice way to do Himmel to demonstrate.
Hold it. I'll hold this side. What? Isn't that really cool? Isn't that really cool? Hugo loves this turtle. He's got another one as well upstairs, which he has in the bath with him. He's got two turtles. Yeah, I'll hand you the turtle now, if that's all right.
No, I think you should leave it on the organ.
Well, there's nowhere for it to go.
Oh, spoil sport.
Well, you find somewhere for it to go. Here, I'll put it up. I'll put it up
next to Our Lady.
Oh, is she all right with that?
She's fine.
How is the chat, everyone? How's the chat? What's going on in the chat? What shall I play next? Any particular requests? Keith's asked for.
Liz Rawsthorne's asked for one of Noel Rawsthorne's pieces.
I can definitely play one of those, Liz. Certainly. Actually, you get 3 of those tomorrow.
I think Mitchell asked for Christians Awake by Rawsthorne. Mitchell asked for.
Okay.
Liz Rawsthorne asked for. I'm just finding it because I noted it down.
Well, what's Liz asked for? Well, I'll tell you what. I got.
Christians Awake.
What?
Yeah.
What, the NEH version?
From The Holly and the Ivy.
Okay.
I know.
I
think Mitchell asked for the same one, so that's a double
What's
request.
it called?
Christians Awake. Do 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 do. That one.
No, that isn't the right tune.
Oh.
It's not that tune at all.
Oh.
All right, well, let's see what happens.
Oh, look, he's come to say hello.
I've not played this one before.
Look.
Oh, everyone's arriving now. Nala's here. The Christians Are Rake by Noel Rawsthorne. Well, let's see how this one goes. I don't know this one. This one doesn't feature tomorrow on the video, but let's see how we get on with this. Do we need any tutors?
Nala said hello to her friends.
Well, Nala's going to say Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas, everybody. Meow, 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 meow. Nala actually stole a bit of lasagna earlier on, so she's in the bad books. Here we go. Actually, there should have been a C flat in that penultimate chord. Liz Rawsthorne would have had my guts for garters for that. Bear with me, Liz. There we go. That was Christian's Awake, Salute the Happy Morn. So you reckon it's tune now, do you?
I was singing actually. I thought it was dotted. I think I might have sung the tune wrong, but what's that?
You sang it completely wrong.
Whatever. Chris has requested The Shepherd's Farewell by Berlioz.
Which Chris? Looking at Bill.
No, it's Chris.
Okay, well, Chris H.
Is that Beaver? Chris Beaver.
Chris Beaver. We've got quite a few Chris in. So
Chris Beaver.
we've got Chris Looking Bill, Chris H, Chris Beaver.
I thought, do you have a nice oboe on this instrument?
We've got I've got an oboe, got
you
a
have
vox
a
humana.
nice oboe for the opening.
I thank you very much for the advice. I might just do that. We've got two oboes actually. You've got a bassoon et hautbois in the very French style, which is perfect for this sort of thing.
I've
Wait.
also looked at the request form.
And we also have an English, a more English oboe. Together. Oop. Yes, so we do have an oboe. We've got two oboes from which to choose. We also have a nice clarinet. And the oboes and clarinets have a duet at the beginning. So we'll do that. Let's have... okay, there we go. So,
I have a question for you. And on the request form, Paul Larson has requested anything by Herbert Howes. There's no look.
Okay.
Anything by Herbert Howes. What would you like to play? And I'll go and find it.
I don't know. I'll have to have a think about that.
Okay.
But meanwhile, I'm going to get work my way through this. Shepherd's Farewell by Hector
Don't go
Berlioz.
flat, will you?
I'll try not to go flat. amazingly, the organ stayed in tune. The organ didn't go down like most choirs do. I'd say most choirs. None of my choirs ever go flat and sing in that. If they did, they would. Well, they would have a. They would have. If there's anyone in the congregation in the chat watching today who sang with me, they would get the face, the look, as they called it. Should we have a little bit of an organ ditty for Christmas Eve? Someone asked for a piece to do with bells. Well, there's a piece right here to do with bells, and I think it's one of the best pieces, based on a Carillon, isn't it? Which is why it's called Carillon de Westminster. So I think we ought to have this. Let's get the reed set up on the swell, or the récit. On the pedal, he asks for just 16 and 8 foot. We can do that easily, coupled to the swell. On the grand orgue, he just asks for the 8 foots, only 8 foots, I think. 8 and 4, sorry. Coupled to, oh, thank you very much, Ship Spells, for your donation. That's very kind. Very kind indeed. That will go towards tomorrow's turkey. Let's couple everything through to the grand orgue. Let's have swell to choir, or récit to positive. And essentially, let's see how we get on. This gets a bit loud, this piece. Starts off very quietly, so you might complain it's too quiet, and you might have to turn up your headphones a little bit. But just be warned, by the end, you might need to turn them down. one of the wonderful things about having a couplers button is it gets you out of a couple of knots. So if you have solo to great on, I'm not sure why I had solo to great on, to be honest. Press that if you can with all those notes going on, and it gets you out of a hole. It brings on swell to choir, swell to great, swell to pedal, and great to pedal. It's a great stop if you're able to set up a stop like that. And if you're like me and you're setting up everything up on the fly, that's a godsend, basically. So we'll have a couple more Christmassy tunes, shall we? Where shall we go? Where on earth shall we go? Back into carols for choirs, and I think we should have another of the most popular, well-known Christmas carols that you can think of, actually. It's the sort of carol that you will have at all carol services. Any carol service that doesn't have this particular hymn, I'm stalling because I can't find it. Any service that doesn't have this one, you will go away feeling short-changed. And I don't want you to go away feeling short-changed today. Why on earth can't I find it? Goodness sake, there it is. 226. And because it is Christmas, in some parts of the world it is actually Christmas Day, we can have the final verse. Yea, Lord, we greet thee, born this Christmas morning. It is, of course, Adeste Fideles, O come all ye faithful. So we'll have verses 1 and 2, 3, 6, of course, then 7 with the wonderful, wonderful D minor with an added major sixth in third inversion chord, otherwise known as the Christmas chord. So let's have a go. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat and and see if there are any more requests that come in. I can just see a couple here from Tim Scott. Oh, Holy Night. Well, you would have heard Caroline sing that on Sunday in the festival of lessons, carols, organ music, and readings video that went online. But you might, if you're lucky, you might have that today. Meanwhile, we'll have this one. Oh, come all ye faithful. hope that comes across as well for you as it does in here. Actually, I've got it turned down a fraction in here, simply because it's quite late at night and our little boy has gone up to bed and the doors are open, so I can't quite play it quite so loud on this occasion. But regardless of that, it is still quite, as you might say, raucous in here. Okie dokie. Should we have one more piece to send us off onto Christmas Eve? How about another piece by Louis Vierne from the finale from the first organ symphony? How about that? Will that go down okay? I hope so. Because I'm getting ready for a drink, actually. That's all I've got left in my very sorry looking glass here. So let's see if I, along with the turtle, can get through this piece by Louis Vierne, and I'll chat to you. Oh, actually, yes, I'll chat to you afterwards. I think this is quite simple. Swell 8, greeting pedal 8, full choir without the mixture, all the couplers, swell to choir, choir to great, choir to pedal. Let's leave solo to all manuals off. Let's get those chamades prepared and let's just have a bit of fun, shall we? Let's start without the 32 foot and let's bring that on later. Shall we have a go? This is the sort of piece. If I was playing at midnight mass, I'm not playing at midnight mass tonight because I'm here with you. If I was playing for midnight mass, this is the sort of piece that I would play. So this is my voluntary for midnight mass, if you like. It was a finale, or the final movements from the first organ symphony by Louis Vierne, one of the most famous pieces in the organ repertoire. It's a wonderful toccata, and I think a really wonderful way to celebrate Christmas. Now, there were one or two things with any sort of new thing that you get, an instrument of this size, one or two things which aren't quite right with it. So even though it looks fabulous, utterly fabulous, and it feels wonderful to play, the keyboards feel amazing to play, there were one or two snags with it. And one of the snags you would have actually, you may have noticed in that performance of the Vierne, when full swell kept knocking off. Now, some of these thumb pistons are incredibly sensitive. At swell 5, for example, all you need to do is just literally breathe on it, and it engages. Solo 2 is another example. It's impossible to press solo 2 or touch solo 2 without it engaging. Some of the others, though, swell 8, you have to press all the way in. So that's one of the things that I want Renatus to sort out in the new year, is to get all of these thumb pistons more consistent. I've spoken to them already about it, and it's quite an easy job apparently. So I'll have them over to do that in the new year. And there are some that I have to press more than once to engage. So I just want to have these thumb pistons regulated a little bit to prevent that sort of thing happening. You know, when you're playing the organ or playing any instrument and something happens that sort of draws you out of the concentration, it actually takes you a moment or two to get back into the concentration, because you have to then, doing those sort of augmented chords, those did it again there. If you then have to find a free finger to press swell 8 again, actually it just it doesn't really help the concentration. So that's what happened there. Anyway, with that Vienne, I'm now going to say a cheerio, and it's only a very, very temporary short cheerio, because tomorrow afternoon there is a Christmas organ album going online, premiering in the afternoon. I think I've had one or two suggestions from you Americans. It's important that we find an agreeable time. Here in the UK, I would just put it on at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But over in America, that's late morning, when you're probably all at church, and you wouldn't be able to say hello in the live chat and wish people a Merry Christmas. So we'll probably go for a 3 or 4 o'clock UK time broadcast time, if that's okay. I think that will work well. Will we have eaten by then?
No, we're eating at 5.
Oh, we're eating at 5? Oh, we should put it on at 5 so we can have it on whilst we're eating. The idea is that people have it on whilst they're eating, because it's background sort of music.
Can I just apologise to Chris Luckenbill?
Yeah.
He sent something through on the email. I tried to print it, but I'd forgotten that Hugo had turned the printer off.
Yes.
It's printing right now. Because the printer on-off button has a very tempting light. Hugo crawls under Richard's desk while he's working and presses the light.
Well, I'll tell people this the story as well. So Hugo's favourite place is in my office. He crawls in. I'm working away at editing tomorrow's video, for example. Sat at my computer desk, in my chair, headphones on, listening to the music, making sure everything's okay, and I can just hear this sort of. And I turn around, and it's Hugo sort of looking up, and he gives me the biggest grin ever, and then he goes, crawls right past me, underneath me, under the computer desk, and there is a printer there, as Caroline just said, with a very tempting light on it, and he gets his little finger and he gets.
Look, we need to block them.
Oh yeah, well, that's easily done, isn't it? Cheerio. Easy. And he just turns the power off or on. Also, just towards the side of the printer is an extension tower. It's got maybe a dozen or so plugs on it, And on the very top of the extension tower is an illuminated power button, which turns off the entire studio. So the computer, monitors, the print, everything in there, everything goes off. The Wi-Fi, because the Wi-Fi router and modem is in there. And yes, he finds that power button in very bright orange, very, very tempting to press. And whenever he goes in, he hasn't it before, and I have to grab him away. Quick, Mummy, here, quick!
It's printed it wrong anyway. It's in portrait, it should be in landscape. So I will sort it out for Boxing Day.
Well, we've got a live virtual church on Boxing Day anyway.
Yeah, the birthday of a king. It's printed wrong anyway.
Yeah, I could read that. That's all right.
Sorry about the late spanner just then. And Geoplanet Jane, so what about Dakar? I'm pretty sure you're playing Dakar tomorrow in the album, aren't you?
I am playing Dakar.
Hang on, 24 hours.
Who was that?
Geoplanet Jane. So what about Dakar? She did a very
yes, well, I am playing it tomorrow. His most popular one tomorrow. So look out for that. So I think we should sign off. What else do I need to say? Well, make sure you're listening to the premiere, because I've managed to one person at a time.
Sorry.
I've managed to change the premiere countdown music.
Oh yes.
Which is big news here on Beauty and Sound, because we always comment on how horrendous the countdown music is to the premiere. So I've managed to change it now.
Let's see. I haven't seen Whack Him for months.
Let's see if you think it's any better.
Joachim Schuster, we haven't seen him for absolutely months.
Hello,
welcome back to the channel. Well, way back.
Oh,
there he is. Look, haven't seen him for months.
Hello, guten Tag.
Well done. Your best German.
Well, I don't speak much German. Okay, so Sunday we have a live virtual church. Might be 8 o'clock again, because we're actually out on Boxing Day. Sunday, we call it Boxing Day here in England. So we're out, and then we'll probably have an 8 o'clock. So the later time on Sunday live. So requests like this we will have on Sunday. So make sure you get your requests in. Sorry I didn't use the BIS request form today. It was just all a little bit informal today, but we will go back to the formalities, if you like, on Sunday. So until then, until tomorrow as well, live, the pre-recorded organ album. We will both say a cheerio.
What time tomorrow from Murray?
We'll have to. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Well, yes. Look out for the placeholder. It will be approximately 3 o'clock UK time, 4 o'clock UK time, or even 5 o'clock UK time. So pick one of those. All right. But I'll put it on tonight. I'm going to go and do some work after I've had a quick drink with the family. I'm going to go back into the studio to do some more work. So that will be to finish that video. Until then, Turtle and I will say Happy Christmas, everybody. Good night. Take care wherever you are in the world, and have a great Christmas. See you tomorrow, Christmas Day. Goodbye, everyone. Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Is he going to fall off, this turtle?